So welcome to this video series on aptitude presented by Mentors for IAS in association with Bangalore IAS Academy and Namak APSC. So in this particular session, we will continue with our problems on averages. So this is your second video where we will discuss more and more problems based on averages. So I hope you've solved the three practice questions in the previous video. You've got the solutions and you've also understood the problems from the last session. So we'll start with our first question. Now this is a simple question. Now the first question says the average weight of A, B and C is 45 kgs. What do you mean by that? Nothing but A, B plus C divided by 3 is equal to 45 kgs. Where A represents the weight of A itself, B represents the weight of B itself, C represents the weight of C itself in terms of kgs. So the total sum, what is average? Nothing but total sum divided, the sum of the observations divided by the total number of observations. So this is the total sum, which is nothing but sum of the weight A plus B plus C, whole thing divided by the total number of observations, which is nothing but 1, 2 and 3. So when you divide their entire weight by the number of persons over here, that is 3, you get 45 kgs. Now the question further says, if the average weight of A and B is 40 kgs. Now see, initially it said the average weight of A, B and C is equal to 45 kgs. Now the average weight of A and B is equal to 40 kgs and the average weight of B and C, the average weight of B and C is equal to 43 kgs. So what is the weight of B? So from the first statement, that is average weight of A, B, C, we get A plus B plus C, the whole thing divided by 3 is equal to 45. So we take 3 to the right hand side over here. What do we get? We get A plus B plus C is equal to 45 into 3, 45 into 3, 45 into 3, 43 is a 120, 120 plus 15, which is 135. So 5 3 is a 15, 1 carry, 4 3 is a 12, plus 1 13. So A plus B plus C is 135. So we have this over here. From the second statement, which says the average weight of A and B is equal to 40 kgs, what do we get? A plus B divided by 2 is equal to 40. We take 2 to the right hand side over here. 40 into 2 is 80. Therefore, A plus B is equal to 80 kgs. The sum of A plus B is equal to 80 kgs. Finally, we have the average of B and C is equal to 43 kgs. Meaning what? B plus C divided by 2 is equal to 43 kgs. Again 2 to the right hand side, B plus C is equal to 3 to the 6, 4 to the 8, B plus C is equal to 86 kgs. Now if you remember the explanation that I had given in the previous video, what do we do here? If this is the first equation, if this is the second equation, if this is the third equation, we will add the second and third equation and then subtract the first equation and then subtract the first equation. So if we add the second and third equation, what do we get? A plus B and B plus C. When we add A plus B and B plus C, what do we get? We get A plus 2B plus 2C, because there are two B's over here. From this we will subtract A, B and C. We will subtract A plus B plus C. So see here, we have A plus 2B plus C minus A minus B minus C. So C and A gets cancelled. 2B minus B is nothing but B. Therefore, based on this, what am I going to write? We are going to add 80 plus 86 minus 135, which should give us B, the value of B. 80 plus 86 is what? 80, 80, 160, 166, 166 minus 135. What is 166 minus 35? 6 minus 5 is 1, 6 minus 3 is 3. 1 minus 1 is 0. Therefore, B, what is the value of B? Nothing but 31 kgs. The weight of B is 31 kgs. Therefore, the correct answer is 31 kgs. The correct option is option D. It is option D. So I hope you've understood this particular question over here. So moving on to the next question. Question number 2. Now, question number 2 says the average of 11 results is 60. The average of 11 results is 60. If the average of the first 6 results is 58 and that of the last 6 results is 63, find the sixth result. Find the sixth result. So here we have the average of 1 to 11. The 11 results is equal to 60. The average of the first 6. What are the first 6? That is 1 to 6. It is equal to 58. And then we have the average of the last 6. Now, what is the last 6? The last 6 is 6 to 11. See here, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. Don't you have 6 results? You have 6 results. So the average of 6 to 11 is equal to 63. Is equal to 63. Now, if the average of 1 to 11 is equal to 60, then the total of 1 to 11, what will be the total of 1 to 11? It is nothing but 60 into 11, correct? Average is nothing but total sum divided by the total number of observations. Total sum of observations divided by total number of observations. So in order to determine the total sum, we are going to multiply average by the total number of observations. Therefore, 60 is the average. The total number is what? 1 to 11 is 11. So 60 into 11. Similarly, the total of results from 1 to 6 is what? It will be 58 into 6. Similarly, the total of the results from 6 to 11 is what? It will be 63 into 6. So what is the question asking for now? The question is asking for the sixth result. The question is asking for the sixth result. So if you consider these two and if you add these two, it is similar to A plus B and B plus C. When you add these two, what do you get? You get A plus 2B plus 2C. So similarly, when you add these two, you will get 1 to 11, but in this sixth result will be twice. The sixth result will be twice because 1 to 6 and 6 to 11. So you're adding 6 twice. So once you add these two, from that you will subtract the first one. So if you take second and third and if you let this one to be the first, what will we do now? 2 plus 3 minus 1. Similar to what we had done in the last problem, and the concept is similar to one of the problems which we had solved in the previous session. So what do we get here? We get 58 into 6 plus 63 into 6 minus 60 into 11. I'll take 6 common out. What do we have? We have 58 plus 63 minus 10 into 11. So this is what 6 into 8 plus 3 is 11. 1 carry 5 plus 1 6. 6 plus 6 is 12 minus 110. So this is nothing but 121. 121 minus 10, 110 is nothing but 11. So 6 into 11 is 66. Therefore, what is the value of the sixth result? The value of the sixth result is nothing but 66. Therefore, the correct option is 66. The correct answer is 66. So let us move on to the next question. Question number 3. Okay, so now we will deal with the third question. Now, the third question says the average age, the average age of a class of 39 students is 15 years. The average age of a class of 15 years, sorry, of a class of 39 students is 15 years. If the age of the teacher be included, then the average increases by 3 months. Find the age of the teacher. So we now want the age of the teacher. So I'll represent the age of the teacher as T. So what is the question saying? The average age, the average age of 39 students. The average age of 39 students is what? 15 years. So if you want the sum of the age of all individual students, that is, when you add the age of 39 students, you would have got you would have got a sum, right? All individual 39 students, when you add all their ages, you would have gotten a sum. What is that total age? What is that sum? That total is what? Nothing but the total number of students, that is 39, into their average, that is 15 years. That is 15 years. So the total age is what? 39 into 15. Now the question further says, if the age of the teacher be included, then the average increases by 3 months. Meaning, if to the total age, see, how do we get the average of 39 students as 15 years? The total sum of 39 students divided by the total number of students, that is 39, which is equal to 15. So now the question is saying, if we add the age of the teacher to this total sum, then the average increases by 3 months. Now it was 15 months. So this will increase by 3 months. So what are we going to do now? I am going to represent the age of the teacher as T. Therefore, now I am going to say the total sum of the students, the total sum of the students plus the teacher's age divided by the total number of observers, the total number of individuals here. Now it is not 39, rather it is 40. We have to now divide it by how much? 40. Why 40? 39, that is the number of students, plus the teacher. So one individual is extra. So this is what? 39 plus 1, that is equal to 40. This will be equal to 15 years plus 3 months, because it increases by 3 months. So here, since 15 is in terms of years, we have to represent 3 months also in terms of years. Okay, how can we represent 3 months in terms of years? Nothing but 1 by 4, correct? See, 12 months is 1 year. 3 months is how many years? 3 by 12. It is nothing but 1 by 4. Therefore, 15 plus 1 by 4. So what do we get here? What is total sum of students? Nothing but 39 into 15 plus the teacher's age. The entire thing divided by 40 is equal to 15 plus 1 by 4. I take 40 to the other side. We are left with 39 into 15 plus T is equal to 15 into 40 plus 40 into 1 by 4. 40 into 1 by 4. I'll take this to the other side. However, I'm going to write it over here due to a space constraint. I'm going to write it over here, but I'm going to take 39 into 15 to the right hand side. So what are we left with on the left hand side? We have T. T is equal to 15 into 40 minus 15 into 39, because I took this to the other side, plus 40 by 4 is what? Plus 10. Plus 10. So here I will take 15 common outside. I have 40 minus 39 plus 10. So what does this mean? We have T is equal to 15 into 40 minus 39 is 1. 40 minus 39 is 1. Therefore 15 into 1 plus 10. Therefore age of the teacher is 15 plus 10, which is equal to 25. Therefore the correct answer is 25 years. The correct option is option C. Option C, the teacher's age is 25. So we'll move on to the next question now. Question number 4. So now next is question number 4. Now question number 4 says the average weight of 10 men in a boat is increased by 1.8 kgs when one of the crew who weighs 53 kgs is replaced by a new man. Find the weight of the new man. So what is the question saying? There is a boat. In this boat there are 10 persons. Okay, there are 10 persons. Now out of these 10 persons, there is one individual who weighs 53 kgs. Who weighs 53 kgs. So at present, if I take the average of their weight, including this person who weighs 53 kgs, I'll get some average. Let me say it is A. Let the average be A. Now, the question further says, if this person who weighs 53 kgs, if he is removed out, of the boat, and a new person is now added into the boat, or this person is going to replace the person who weighs 53 kgs, then the average weight of the individuals in the boat will increase by 1.8, meaning what? The new average will be A plus 1.8. See, earlier the average was A. Now the average weight increases by 1.8, therefore the new average is A plus 1.8. So I hope you've understood till here. Now what I'm going to say is that out of the 10 men, let the total weight of 9 men be M. Let the total weight of 9 individuals be M. The weight of the 10th individual is what? It is 53 kgs. It is 53 kgs. So based on what the question is saying, I am going to say the total weight of 9 men plus the 10th man, which is 53 kgs. If I divide this by the number of individuals, that is 10, I should get the average A. Okay, this is what I've explained earlier. Now, if this person is replaced by a new individual whose weight we don't know, whose weight we have to find out, that is what the question is asking for, I am going to say, let this man, the new man, who is going to replace the 10th man, let his weight be X kgs. Let his weight be X kgs. So, if the 10th man is replaced by the new man, so this is what still the weight of the 9 individuals, which does not change. Only the 10th individual, he is being replaced by a new man whose weight is X kgs. I'm assuming it to be X kgs. Then if I take their average, it will increase by 1.8 kgs. What am I supposed to find? I need the value of X. So however, I have 2 equations and 3 unknown variables. Okay, so we'll have to change this. So now what I'm going to do is, I am going to substitute A. I am going to substitute A over here as M plus 53 by 10 from here. So now I am going to substitute the value of A over here from this equation. So what will I get? I will get M plus X by 10 is equal to, from here, M plus 53 by 10 plus 1.8. I'll take this to the numerator over here. So what do we get? Since the denominator is the same, we will get M plus X minus M minus 53 divided by 10 is equal to 1.8. I'll take 10 to the right hand side over here. I'll multiply 1.8 by 10. Okay, so now I'm going to write it over here. Now M and minus M gets cancelled. What are we left with on the left hand side? X minus 53. This is equal to what? 1.8 into 10, that is 18. I'll take 53 to the right hand side. That is what? 18 plus 53. So what is the value of X? 18 plus 53. So it is 53 plus 20, 73. 73 minus 2 is 71. Therefore, the answer is 71 kgs. The weight of the new man is 71 kgs. The correct option is option D. It is option D. The correct answer is 71 kgs. So now let us move on to the next question. Question number 5. We are now moving over to the fifth question. Question number 5. Now, question number 5 says, there were 35 students in a hostel. There were 35 students in a hostel. Due to the admission of 7 new students, the expenses of the mess were increased by rupees 42 per day, while the average expenditure per head diminished by rupee 1. What was the original expenditure of the mess? So I would request you to just pause the video here, read the question twice so that you understand what the question is trying to say. The question is saying there were initially 35 students in a hostel. Later on, due to the admission of 7 new students, the expenses of the mess were increased by 42 rupees per day, meaning the total expenses has been increased by rupees 42 per day. However, the average expenditure per head has diminished by rupee 1. So I am going to say let T be the total expenditure. Let T be the total expenditure per day. Let T be the total expenditure per day. Okay, this is for 35 students. Originally let T be the total expenditure per day for 35 students. For 35 students. Now, when 7 new students have been admitted, the expenses of the mess increases by rupees 42 per day. So, when 7 students are admitted, the total expense increases by 42 rupees per day. So now the total expenditure is what? It is T plus 42. The question further says, after 7 students have been admitted, the average expenditure per head actually diminished by rupee 1. Now, even though the total amount of money spent has increased, the amount of money spent per student has actually decreased. So, if the average amount of money spent per student be A, this is the average amount of money spent per student. If that is A, then after 7 students were admitted, the new average, that is the amount of money spent per student, will be A minus 1. So if you are able to understand this much, you should be able to solve it. So we know average is what? Average is nothing but total sum divided by the total number. Therefore, can I write total, see T here, let T be the total expenditure, divided by the total number of students. This is the first case, this is the second case. So first I am going to deal with the first case. So T divided by 35. T divided by 35. This is equal to what? This is equal to A. This is equal to A. Second case, the total sum has been increased by how much? 42 rupees. Therefore, it is T plus 42 divided by the total number of students. Now, what is the total number of students now? It is 35 plus 7 students, because 7 new students have been admitted. So what is the denominator over here? What are the total number of students? It is 35 plus 7, which is equal to 42. However, the average has been now changed. It has been reduced by A minus 1. So what is the question now asking for? Question is asking for the original expenditure, meaning we have to find out the value of T over here. So based on what we have done in the previous question, what will we do now? We will substitute the value of A as T by 35 here in the second case. So what will we get now? We'll now have, I'm going to write it over here, we now have T by, okay, I'm going to keep it as T plus 42 itself. Okay, let me keep it as T plus 42 itself. T plus 42 divided by 42 is equal to T by 35 minus 1. Minus 1. I'll take this to the left hand side over here. So we now have T plus 42 divided by 42 minus T by 35 is equal to minus 1. It is equal to minus 1. So now as usual, you taking your LCM, what do we get? See, don't be what do you call as anxious by these huge numbers 42, 35. There is no necessity of you multiplying 42 and 35 this stage. Just keep it as 42 into 35 itself. So what do we get here? T into 35, it is 35T plus 42 into 35 minus 42T minus 42T whole thing divided by 42 into 35. This is equal to minus 1. This is equal to minus 1. Now I am going to write it over here. So see here, we have 35T and minus 42T. So minus 42T plus 35T is what? Minus 70. Minus 70 plus 42 into 35. This is equal to, I am going to take 42 into 35 to the right hand side. 42 into 35 minus 1 is what? It is 42 into 35. So I will now take 70 to the right hand side and 42 into 35 to the left hand side. So what do we get now? We get 42 into 35 plus 42 into 35 is equal to 70, or I can write 2 into 42 into 35 is equal to 70. 7 5s are 35, 5 2s are 10, 10 into 42 is what? 420. Therefore T is equal to 420. So what was the total expenditure per day? What is the total expenditure in the hostel per day? The total amount of money was nothing but 422 rupees. Therefore the correct option is option A. It is 420. I hope you've understood this. It is very simple. You only have to determine T by 35 is equal to A. T plus 42 divided by 42 is equal to A minus 1. Just replace and substitute A as T by 35. I might have complicated it a bit over here, but I hope you've understood. If you've understood, you should be able to do it much simpler. No, I misstepped and just, I just elongated the procedure. It is just my mistake. However, I hope you've understood. Okay, so now let us move on to the next question, question number 6. Now, question number 6 says, a batsman makes a score of 87 runs in the 17th inning and thus increases his average by 3. Find his average after the 17th inning. So I hope you've understood the question. So what we are going to do now is that we are going to assume let R be the total number of runs. Let R be the total number of runs scored by the batsman. Let R be the total number of runs scored by the batsman in 16 innings. In 16 innings. Then what do you get when you divide R, that is the total number of runs scored by the batsman in 16 innings? When you divide R by 16, you get the average per innings. That is, A is nothing but the number of runs scored per innings. Correct? However, the question says that when it comes to the 17th inning, he scores 87 runs and therefore his average increases by 3 runs per innings. So what is the question saying? In the 17th innings, he scores 87 runs. Meaning what? Now the total runs amounts to R plus 87. And when you now take the average of R plus 87 runs, that is R plus 87 divided by 17, then the average would have increased by 3 runs. Average would have increased by 3 runs. So what is the question asking for? Question is asking for his average after the 17th innings. That is, we have to find out A plus 3. We have to find out A plus 3. So here obviously it would actually seem to us that we have to substitute for R, but rather than substituting for R, I will substitute for A itself, even though I have to find out A, because calculation simplification will be much more easier rather than substituting for R. So what am I going to do now? I am going to substitute A as R by 16 over here. So what do we get now? We get R plus 87 divided by 17, or I am going to now write it as R plus 17 plus 87 by 17 is equal to A is what? R by 16 plus 3. So now I will take R by 16 to the left hand side and let me take 87 by 17 to the right hand side. So what do we get now? We have R by 17 minus R by 16 is equal to 3 minus 87 by 16. 3 minus 87 by 16. So we now take LCM, 16 and 17. So we have 16R minus 17R divided by 16 into 17. No need to multiply 16 into 17. Let us just keep it as 16 into 17 itself. Always multiply in the end. Always multiply in the end. Don't try to multiply everything in the beginning itself, because most of the times it will always cancel out. Sorry, this is not 87 by 16, it is 87 by 17. Obviously, I've taken 87 by 17 to the right hand side. So what do we get here? We get 17 into 3, we get 17 into 3, 17 3s is 51. 17 3s are 51. 51 minus 87 divided by 17. So see here, 17 and 17 gets cancelled. So what are we left with? I'm going to write it here now. We are left with 16R minus 17R. What is that? Nothing but minus R, which is equal to 51 minus 87. Or I have minus R is equal to, what is 51 minus 87? 7 minus 1 is 6, 8 minus 5 is 3, but it is minus. It is minus. But minus and minus gets cancelled. Therefore, R is equal to 36. R is equal to 36 by, sorry, my mistake. R is equal to, my mistake, 16. Sorry, this is R by 16. This is R by 16, R by 16, R by 16. So what do we have now? We have R by 16 is equal to 36. R by 16 is equal to 36. So going from the first equation over here, that is R by 16 is equal to A. What does this imply? R by 16 is equal to 36 is also equal to A. Therefore, the average after 13 innings is 36. But what is the question asking for? Question is not asking for B. Question is asking for the average after 17 innings. Therefore, the average after 17 innings will be what? The average increases by 3 runs. Therefore, we will add 36 plus 3, which is equal to 39. Therefore, the correct option is option C and not option B. Always the options are designed in such a way that we will make mistakes even though we have solved everything and we will miss out on this particular step, because as soon as we get A as 36 under pressure, we will mark B. But the question is asking for C, 39. Therefore, the correct answer is 39. The correct option is option C. So let us move on to the next question now. Question number 7. Now, question number 7 says, a library has an average of 510 visitors on Sundays and 240 visitors on other days. So every Sunday there are 510 visitors. There are 510 visitors in the library. On every other day, that is from Monday to Saturday, every other day on an average you have 240 visitors. So now the question is asking, the average number of visitors per day in a month of 30 days beginning with a Sunday is what? So if on every Sunday 510 visitors visit the library, on every other day we have 240 visitors visiting the library. If you take the entire month of 30 days, on an average, on a day, how many visitors will visit the library? Considering that the month starts with a Sunday. Now, why is this important? This is important because we have to determine how many Sundays will a month of 30 days have. How many Sundays will a month of 30 days have? Because in order for us to determine the average number of visitors visiting the library per day in a month of 30 days, what do we have to find out? We need the total sum. We need the total sum of visitors. The total sum of visitors visiting the library in the entire month. In the entire month. This we will divide by the total number of days so that we get the average number of visitors per day. So first we have to determine how many Sundays will we have. So if the question says the month is going to start from Sunday, is going to start on a Sunday, meaning what? The first of the month will be Sunday. Then 7 days later, next week, 1 plus 7, 8th of the month will be a Sunday. 8 plus 7 is 15. 15th of the month will be a Sunday. 15 plus 7, 22. 22 of the month will be a Sunday. 22 plus 7, that is 29. 29 of the month will be a Sunday. Then it is 30th. 30th will obviously be a Monday. So meaning what? In a month of 30 days where the month starts with a Sunday, there will be 5 Sundays. There will be 5 Sundays. So in a month of 30 days, there will be 5 Sundays. Rest 25 days will be other days. Rest 25 days will be other days. So for us to determine the average, that is total number of visitors in the entire month, we need the number of visitors on Sundays. So on every Sunday there are 510. Therefore in 5 Sundays how many visitors? 5 into 510 plus every other day, meaning Monday, every Monday on an average there is 240, Tuesday 240, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, every other day except a Sunday, on an average you have 240 days. So if on every other day except a Sunday it is 240 days, sorry 240 visitors on 25 days, it is 25 into 240. This whole thing divided by 30. This whole thing divided by 30 over here. So now what I will do is, we have 5 here, this is also divisible by 5. I'll take 25 common out. I'll take 25 common out. Okay, so 5 out, this is what, 5 ones are 5, 0, 5 twos are 10. Okay, plus 240 divided by 30, divided by 30. So 5 5s are 25, 5 6 are 30. So I think this is also divisible by 6. Let me take yes, this is also divisible by 6. So let me take 6 common out. So we have 5 into 6. Okay, so 6 ones are 6, 4 2, that is 42, 6 sevens are 42, plus 6 fours are 24, so 40, whole thing divided by 6, 6 and 6 gets cancelled. So what are we left with? We are left with 5 into 17 plus 40. This is nothing but 5 into 57. So what do we have here? 7 fives are 35, 5 fives are 25, 25 3, 285. Meaning what? In a month of 30 days starting with a Sunday, on an average every day you will have 285 visitors. Therefore, the correct answer is 285. The correct option is option D. Is option D. Correct answer is 285. So now let us move on to the next question. Question number 8. Question number 8. Now, question number 8 says, if the average marks of 3 batches of 55, 60 and 45 students respectively is 50, 55 and 60, then what is the average marks of all the students? Okay, so there are 3 batches, that is 55, 60 and 45, or 55, 60 and 45 students respectively, and is their average marks is 50, 55 and 60. So what is the average marks of all students? Now, in order for us to determine the average marks of all students, what do we need? We need the total marks. We need the total marks of all students in all the 3 batches included. We will divide this by the total number of students. The total number of students. So, how do we get the total marks? See here, 55 students, the average marks is 50. Therefore, their total marks is what? It is 55 into 50. Plus 60 students, their average marks is what? 55. Then their total marks is what? 60 into 55. Plus 45 students, their average marks is what? 60. So their total marks is what? 45 into 60. So this sums up the total marks of all 3 batches of students. Now we will divide this entire thing by the total number of students. How do we get the total number of students? We will simply add 55, 60 and 45. So we have 55 plus 60 plus 45. So if you see here, we should be able to take 10 common out. So we have 10 and we have 55 into 5 plus 6 into 55 plus 45 into 6. Okay, so here we have what? See here, 55 plus 45, 45 plus 5 is 60, 60 plus 40 is 100, 100, 160. It is 160. So 0, 0 gets cancelled. Now there is 16 over here. Now obviously we can take 5 common out, but there is no use of taking 5 common out over here. So now it is important, now it is necessary that we multiply. Now it is necessary that we multiply the entire thing over here. So 5 fives are 25, 5 fives are 25 plus 2, 275. This is 275. Plus I am going to take 6 common out. We have 55 plus 45. We have 55 plus 45. 55 plus 45 is 100. 50 plus 45 is 100. The whole thing divided by 16. So what do we have here? We have 275 plus 55 plus 45 is 100. 100 into 6 is 600 divided by 16. This is nothing but 875. Sorry, this is nothing but 875 divided by 16. So here it is important for us to divide it entirely to see what is the average marks of all the students. What is the average marks? So now there is no escape. Now there is no escape. So we have to divide 875 by 16 because there is no simplification as such over here. Okay. So 16. 16 fives are 80. Okay. 16 fives are 80. We get 7 and 5 here. Now what is it? 16 on the 16 to the 32, 16 is 48, 16 fours are 64. 5 is 80, so 16 4s are, sorry, 16 4s are, 16 4s are is 64. Now see here, it is 54. Okay, you know that what you have done is correct. Now, as soon as you get 54, and if you look at the options, it says none of these, 55, 54.6, 53.33. Correct? Now, as soon as you get this, obviously you should be able to eliminate this, you should be able to eliminate this. Now, if option D was something like say 57, instead of none of these, if it was 57, then I would have said you can stop here itself, because it is 54. You don't have to check if it is 0.6, you don't have to check for the decimal, you could have straight away marked it is option B. But now since it is option D, you have to check if it is 54.6, or it could be something like 54.9, 54.1. You don't need this risk. After solving so much, you don't need this risk. So since D is none of these, I will try to find out the exact answer. I will try to find out the exact answer. So now what do we have here? So now it is 75 minus 64. So 1 and 1, now it's 0. Now if you see here, okay, sorry, it is 11. So 0.0 over here. Now this is 110. Now you have to determine what is the next number. Now obviously if 16 5s is 80, 16 6s is 96. So we'll have to go for 16 6 times, that is 96. Now you can stop. Now we can stop. Therefore, now it is confirmed that the correct answer is 54.6. The correct option is option B. The correct option is option B. So the correct answer is 54.6. So there are 3 practice questions over here. So do try to solve them by yourself. The answers for which will be posted in the comment section. If you do have any doubts, please do write to us in the comment section. We will clear these doubts for you. And thank you for watching this particular video. Also follow us for more such videos. Thank you.